And a little bit about the law, and to help us with that in the studio, this show is called Legal Lane. Vanessa Lane Jennings is your host, and the phone lines are open so that you can ask your questions. I encourage you to ask your questions, and don't be shy. If Robin and I are asking Vanessa a question and you feel like, mine doesn't even fit in with that category, don't worry. We want you to interrupt us. We will learn from your questions. We realize also that it's uncomfortable. Legal stuff is often very personal stuff. And so the other advice we would give you is, of course, to call Vanessa at her office. But right now, if you could share with us a question for Vanessa, we would love to hear from you. The number is 622-9622. Vanessa Lane Jennings is an attorney here in Ocala and focuses on all kinds of law. And so that's what she's here for each Friday, and we love when she's in the studio. Good morning again, Vanessa.
Good morning,
now that we're on the
everyone.
air. Oh, where's your picture? Let me put your picture on there. Let's try and do three things at once. I got to really be careful with that music because of the copyright issue. So
Yeah, I know.
it's okay on the radio, not okay on YouTube.
YouTube says no to our Life in the Fast Lane song.
There's
Yes, it does.
you asked before we went on there what I wanted to talk about, and I
Yes.
didn't say this.
Uh-oh.
But one of the things that we run into now and then, and just maybe this is hopefully an easy question, is when we create a piece of music, sometimes people will ask us if we can do a Creative Commons license. Do you not know what that is? I think it means, can we use your music for free? I think it's what that means.
I believe that's what that means as well.
And I don't know if that's a smart thing. But the real question I have is not is it smart, not asking you advice of whether we should do it or not, but can you undo it once you do it? That's the real question. If I say, oh, sure, we can use Creative Commons, and then next week we get a call from Warner Brothers, and they say, well, we would have paid you, but thank you.
I believe once you put it out there in the public domain for free, how are you going to control that?
You can't undo it? You don't know?
I know it. Once you do it, it's out there and it's free, and people could use it however they want to use it,
Yeah.
as long as they're not taking it and destroying it and mutilating it. And
Yeah, I think the thing that you sign, it's an online thing. I think it says Creative Commons license means other people can use it as long as they give you credit and don't
Correct.
change it
correct,
or use it for something else. So,
use it in ways you don't want to use,
yeah. So, like for a commercial, for ketchup or something.
or to make money off of it. Use it in something where they go make money and you're not making anything off of it.
Yeah, wouldn't that be crazy? It happens all the time, though, right?
Yeah.
Not to us personally, but to people in the world. All right, let's go to the phone. We have the phone ringing, and I promised I would answer it. So let me. It's my mouse. My cursor's not working. There it goes. Okay. Good morning. Thank you for calling. You're on the air with Vanessa.
Yes, good morning, good morning. Yes, the Kern estate has been very protective of the use of the music of Jerome Kern. And when Alan Sherman did a parody of Smoke Gets in Your Eye, he got a telegram from the Kern estate.
Oh, really? What do you call it?
Cease and desist letters.
His was Smog Gets in Your Eyes.
Oh, and they told them to stop doing it?
Well, the cat was already out of the bag, but they told him to be very careful what they did with any other Jerome Kern.
No, so they were nice.
Some people
Yeah.
are nice.
Okay.
Have a good
Disney's
day.
not normally nice.
Thank you. Yeah. But it's intellectual property. And I don't know, does it come up more often nowadays than it used to? Or is it about the same?
I'm going to say it's probably more prevalent now just because it's easier to find infringements.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
You know, the easier it is to find the infringement, the easier it is to
Because
have a lawsuit about it.
just think about what we did with the song that we used for your intro. Now, we're allowed to use it on the radio.
Correct.
But YouTube says, okay, we can't use that song. And so then they muted your whole show, the first show we did with you.
Right.
They took off all the sound.
Yeah.
And they said, you can replace it with something else. So I said, okay, let me click that. I clicked that, and then suddenly that's the only thing on your whole show. You couldn't hear what you were saying.
It could have been more interesting, though. You just never know.
So, yeah, and here's my point is that the technology exists so that we had it up a second, and it knew right away that there was music on there that they had to stop.
Absolutely.
Isn't that amazing?
Yep, it was less than half a day, and it was already completely gone.
Are you working on any cases right now you can
I'm working on lots of cases.
You
right
can't
now.
talk about the cases specifically, but anything we could learn from them?
Right now, it's a lot of family law.
Family law.
A lot of family law. Right
And you
this second.
represent the men and the women, or?
Absolutely.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes. I have actually probably a few more men right this second than I do women on my list of clientele.
Have you ever seen that sign on the boulevard?
Yes.
For men only? For
Absolutely.
divorces? What is that? I mean, why would an attorney only want to handle men?
My personal opinion on that is it's more of a, I don't want to say a gimmick because gimmick's not the right word and that's a little too harsh.
Okay.
But it's their boutique, it's their corner, it's their niche. So they're creating a little market for themselves.
Okay.
You know, that way, you know, guys always feel, especially in divorce cases and family cases, when they come into my office, I hear it every single day of the week, where they're like, you as a woman, would you be willing to take my case? Will you fight as hard for me as you would fight for a female?
Oh.
You know, and then
okay.
I also have to tell them a little bit about my personal story, which, you know, where I saw my biological father have to fight for me. So for me, I understand because
okay.
I know there's different perspectives out there. So for me, it doesn't matter if it's a male client or a female client. My client is my client. But some men feel men only. Of course, we want to go there because they're going to fight harder for me because they only represent men.
So is it usually the biggest fights, the hardest divorce cases when there are little children involved?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Little children or lots of money.
Oh my god!
And if there's little children and lots of money, it's a knockdown, drag out
That's
fight.
a big deal. Can a prenup ever be contested?
Yes.
So,
I mean, it can be contested and you can overcome it, but
very
they're very
hard.
hard. But can it? Yes. The likelihood of it happening, because it's normally viewed as a contract that you entered, and when you enter that contract, you were in a good place. Now you're in a completely different place, but that shouldn't negate the fact that you entered into that contract and was a legally binding contract. So you would have to show duress, you would have to show mistake, you would have to show fraud, you would have to show one of the defenses that you would have to a contract. So you would attack it the same way that you would attack a normal contract that you entered.
And the marriage contracts are contracts. When you go up there and say, till death do us part, it seems like that's not held in high esteem these days, like other contracts do, like you said, the prenup.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true. That's a
that-
good point.
Right, that one you can get out of.
Yeah.
Till death do us part.
That one you can get out of. It's more until something else happens that, no.
And do you interview the children
It depends.
during the course?
I don't want to say I interview them because that's not the right word. Have I met some of the children? Yes. Normally they're older, they're in their teenage years, and they want to give their opinion. They want to give,
okay.
This is what I want and this is why I want what I want. And then we decide whether or not, either with the family or with a guardian ad litem or with someone else, whether or not they could speak in court. But normally that's why we have a guardian ad litem, so they don't have to speak.
Oh my gosh.
But if they're older and they do want to speak and there isn't a guardian ad litem, then we, put a motion forward to see if the judge will entertain speaking to them to hear what their point of view is.
So there were two stories in the news, and we said before we went on the air we would maybe do it after the break.
Okay.
And one of them was the Hulk Hogan story. Are you familiar with it? Because I could tell you a little bit about it.
It's with the Gawker.
Yeah, apparently he was having an affair with the wife of Bubba the Love Sponge, who I think is competition for us right now, isn't he?
Yeah,
Isn't he
I
on
think so.
another radio station right now?
Yes.
Okay. So his wife apparently had a fling with Hulk Hogan, and somebody videotaped it. And somehow it got on to, I don't know how you do that. How does that mistake happen? How do you accidentally get your sex tape out there? I know I keep all my sex tapes right in my glove. No. All right, so
Your house is going to be ransacked when you get home.
No, I said my glove compartment.
He no longer has a car. It's being towed away right now.
So I want to ask you about that because Gawker says they have a legitimate scoop because of the fact that he openly talked about it. So maybe the privacy for celebrities is a different, and
It is a different standard.
and it's kind of the same story as the girl, the news reporter in the room next door. I'll tell you why I think that.
Okay.
Should I tell you now or after the break?
Either or.
Either or, okay. And maybe an easier question is immigration. Can you handle, like, if somebody comes in here, they want to be a legal immigrant. Let's say they are here illegally, and they don't want to be, what do you call them? Exported or
Deported.
Deported. Exported.
Yeah, they're not a product. We're not.
So can you help that person? Can you say, look, I don't want you to be exported either or deported, so I can help you. So we'll do those two on the other side. We'll take a little break. If you have a question for Vanessa, don't worry about interrupting anything I'm asking, because we want your questions to be answered. The number is 622-9622. We'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. It'll be mostly cloudy for Friday with a shower or thunderstorm in the area in the afternoon. High 82 to 86. Mostly cloudy Friday night with lows in the 60s. For Saturday, variable cloudiness along with a shower or thunderstorm in the afternoon. High 81 to 85. Palm Sunday will start out with clouds and a shower or thunderstorm, then turn partly sunny, breezy, and cooler with highs holding in the 70s. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
We're saving thousands with Robert Palmer.
So rule number one is always shop around. Always shop around. If you're trying to get a mortgage, if you're trying to get the best credit card, if you're looking at student loans, cell phone bills, you name it, rule number one is always shop around. Always shop around.
That's rule number one, just one more vital part of fighting back to stop being a financial zombie. Yes, you can take the mystery out of the complicated world of finances. Take charge when it comes to your money. Listen in on The Source, 96.3 FM and 1370 AM, Saturdays at 12:05.
Easter's on the way, and now is the time to order your honey-baked ham with all the fixins. Maybe an 8-pound half ham plus 3 heat-and-serve sides and a delicious pie for just $79.99. Maybe you prefer turkey. Come in or call 861-0011 to mix and match your main course, sides, and, of course, dessert. Honey-baked ham and cafe is located at 2709 Southwest 27th Avenue in Ocala, behind Best Buy. You enjoy the day by allowing honey-baked ham to do the work, and you take the credit. That number again, 861-0011.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Most couples get ring tattoos after the wedding ceremony, not for the engagement, which is smart considering 25% of all engaged couples, they never make it to the altar. Taking breaks help boost our mood and makes us more creative and productive. When a woman feels threatened, she tends to touch the front of her neck or play with her necklace because it's an area that's physically vulnerable. For men, their towel is fidgeting with their tie.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Keep up with what's going on in the downtown area with Ocala Downtown Newspaper. Delivering thousands of newspapers to businesses in the downtown area, Ocala Downtown is there to keep you informed. They even have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company that fits your needs, and all we ask in return is that you tell them where you heard about it. It's simple. For more info, just call Tom's Picks, 352-804-1223, and pick up your copy of the Downtown Ocala newspaper today.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
All right, 12 minutes before 11 o'clock. Let's continue with this. This promises to be a very fascinating conversation now. Vanessa Lane Jennings is in the studio, and the show is called Legal Lane. And, of course, Vanessa is with the law firm of the Jennings Law Firm, right?
That's correct.
That's correct? Okay, good. And what is your phone number over there?
My phone number is 352-804-0092.
Okay, we do have a caller, so let's take that call first. Good morning. You're on the air. Thank you for calling.
Yes, thank you for taking my call. My stepson currently is living with his girlfriend. He's in his middle 20s, and they've been together for, it's getting close to a year. I don't know if I heard on the radio or read in the paper that it's illegal to live with a person and not if you're not married. Is that a true law here?
Not one that you're going to actually be. You're not going to actually be arrested for that one. I don't believe. Because there's a lot of laws that are on the books that aren't actually enforced.
If it would be enforced, could you fight something like that?
How old is she?
Well, they're both in their middle 20s.
Yeah, no, that's. I don't see how that's illegal. I don't know that to be illegal.
Yeah, all I know is I either read it or heard it on the radio.
Yeah, it was in the news
last
week.
In the state of Florida, that you could not live legally with a friend, a girlfriend, or a boyfriend.
Yeah, that was a Florida story last week. Yeah.
Things I miss for being in trial for a week.
Thank you. Appreciate the call. Do you want me to look it up real quick?
Sure.
Yeah, it was a story we had last week.
You had that story.
The way I guess it, from a layperson's point of view, it was illegal, and I guess they changed that. Okay, let me just go and look.
Oh, it was illegal back in the day?
In Florida. Well, it was illegal till last week.
We never took it off the books.
Right. See, that's one of those things. There's a whole bunch of them that are on the books. That, like, you're not, the only things that you're allowed to throw out of your car legally is water or a live chicken in the state of Florida.
Live chicken.
Yeah, those are the two things that you're legally allowed to throw outside a moving vehicle. Is water and a live chicken.
Okay.
But those aren't things that they actually uphold. You know what I mean? They're on the books, but they don't actually.
So let me read what it says. This is March 9th.
Okay.
Okay. Couples shacking up together in Florida would no longer be breaking the law under a bill passed by the Florida legislature. The Florida House on Wednesday voted 112 to 5. There were 5 lawmakers who didn't want to repeal it.
There's 5 lawmakers who are very purists.
To repeal the state's largely unenforced prohibition of cohabitation. The bill now heads to the desk of Governor Rick Scott, and he has not signed it yet, by the way.
Okay.
Under a law that has been on the books since 1868, a man and a woman living together could be fined $500 and locked up in jail for 60 days.
Yeah, they're not enforcing that.
According to the 2014 census data, there are nearly 438,000 unmarried male-female couples in Florida. Of the 7.3 million Florida households, the bill seeks to repeal the entire statute covering married or unmarried men and women engaging in open behavior that is gross, lewd, and lascivious.
The funny thing is, I know about 5 judges in South Florida who would qualify for that. Because they are. They're not married.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they live together.
Yeah. So, and the one of the stories I had, and I won't look this one up to save time, but it did imply that there were a handful of cases that were actually tried in this state. So,
gosh,
a handful of people actually got arrested or whatever. So, probably somebody's father said, yeah, I'm having you arrested, right? And they knew the judge and they knew the sheriff, and they probably,
Was it in Spark or Waldo?
I don't know, but I'm not throwing a chicken out of my window.
But you can. No, it's allowed. You can throw the chicken out or water, but nothing else.
Yeah.
So, have fun with that.
Wow.
Travel with the chicken.
I've always wanted to travel with a live chicken, just like
throw out the window, because they do fly.
I just didn't want PETA to go after me for.
It has to be live. You can't have chicken from Publix or something.
Chicken from Publix will not qualify.
Live chicken.
All right, so let's see. Where do we start? Okay, so let me ask you the immigration one first.
Okay.
And really, the question is, could you or would you handle such a case? Let's say Pedro at the laundromat. Did I do something wrong by saying Pedro? Pedro at the laundromat came over from Mexico, and he was listening to the news, and he said, "You do the news, don't you?" And I said, "Yeah." He says, "I'm illegal." I said, "Yeah, I know." He says, well, how do I become legal? Hold on, let me bring you to Vanessa. So could you do whatever needs to be done to make him legal?
What I normally do is I help permanent residents. I could help them renew all of their paperwork. That I do. Everything else that is actually getting them to be legalized, I do send out. That is not something that I actually do personally in-house.
Is it a long process, and is it an expensive process?
Yes. I have a friend who's been in the middle of his process for 15 years.
No.
Really?
Yes.
15
Why?
years?
Because depending on what country you're from, depends on, you have to wait. They're backlog. They're doing applications that were put in 2000. So they're just getting to those now. Yeah, some of them are getting to from the applications that were in the 90s. So it's a long process.
See, and this is the part that bothers me. I mean, I understand we have an illegal immigrant problem. But I don't always know that it's the illegal immigrants that are the ones we should be blaming. Sometimes it is, but I think sometimes it's the fact that they don't have a good process, a good system to become legal.
That could be said about most of our processes and systems in our government. But.
All right, let's talk about the sex one. All right, so what's his name again?
Hulk
Hogan.
Hulk Hogan.
Okay, so somebody videotaped him, and it wasn't him. You said.
Well, no, he apparently.
He hired somebody?
I don't know. That's what I was wondering. It says they didn't know that they were being videotaped for their 30-minute videotape session.
So somebody was sneaky and put a
camera
camera
in there. They were being sneaky for a whole, long time.
Okay. Well, now if they're on the beach, then they don't have a case. But chances are they were not on the beach.
Could they have been in their backyard?
Do we have privacy rights in our backyard?
Yes, because that's your home. Now, it depends where the person was. Now, if they were in navigable airspace, theoretically, that gets a little bit more, questionable.
That's a long time to hover, 29 minutes.
That is. Something that was boiled down. And I think what they say, they boiled it down, they edited it to 1 minute and like 40 some odd seconds.
Wow.
Who did?
That's
Gawker?
Gawker. Yeah, they took 30 minutes.
So 1 minute, probably the best 1 minute.
Right.
The money shot.
Yeah.
Right? You know what they call it?
Yes.
I'm hip. I know some of these terms.
Robin does not agree with that.
Oh, that wasn't that was wrong? I was wrong with that?
No,
Okay.
you're right. No,
you're right.
The hip part. That's the
Oh,
part.
I'm not hip. Well, yeah, okay. I'll agree. I'm not hip. I'm never going to be hip. It's not even hip to say hip anymore, I think.
Well, doesn't the person that took the video, don't they have to be proven that they're the ones that took it?
No.
Because how else?
Well, because I don't think they're not going after the person who took the video. They're going after the person who put it on the internet. And he's saying that that's what caused his humiliation, and he is not able to live with himself. The fact that he was sleeping with the love sponge wife.
It's just wrong anyway. I mean, whether he gets the money or not. But Gawker, I mean, that's how do you justify that? How does anybody say, "Oh, I had a right to put this off you"?
Well, because he's a celebrity, and everything a celebrity does is considered newsworthy.
And see, this goes back to that woman in the room that got the hole drilled into it. Mm-hmm. If there's a law that says you can no longer book a man in a room next to a female celebrity, right? Then that means that a non-celebrity woman wouldn't have the same protection.
There's a higher risk that someone's going to be wanting to do something to a celebrity than a non-celebrity.
See, I don't think so.
Because otherwise, how would they know that person was going to be there? Because celebrities,
they see her.
They could follow.
No. See, the male mind works
Far differently.
Yes. Okay.
Please.
You need him on your staff.
Okay, so I'm downstairs. I'm downstairs at the hotel, and there is a girl who could easily be a supermodel. Okay, but she's not. She's a teacher. She's a mommy. Okay, but she's got the look. Okay, now she checks in and she goes upstairs. Now I say to the guy, "What room did she just get?" "Oh, 217. Any chance 218's open?" "Yeah, sure." Shouldn't he say, "No, you can't have 218. I see what you're going to do. You got a drill in that bag." But I mean, shouldn't she be protected as much as a celebrity would be protected?
I think everyone should be protected about the same. But I think a celebrity is going to get it more. They're going to have more stalkers, more people following them, more people planning it out.
Mm-hmm. And that's where the lawsuits come in, because it's not just something that's done off the cuff. They actually plan things.
All right, let's squeeze in a phone call. Good morning. You're on the air. Thank you for calling.
Yeah, good morning. I was a desk clerk at a motel for a couple of years, and one of the things that they told us was you never give out the guest's room number.
Good policy.
Can I speak to Mrs. Smith? I'll get her. I'll connect you to her. You don't give out the room number.
There you go.
Have a good day.
That's good policy. Yeah, good policy. That's what I would do.
Policy.
That would be my policy if I was the guy who owned the hotel. I wouldn't want that to happen.
Absolutely. Male or female, don't give out room numbers.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Vanessa, it always goes too quick. Is it going to rain?
It's supposed to.
Did you do anything green yesterday? Did you do any St. Patrick's Day stuff?
No, we actually went to the Mexican restaurant, Latino Lamas.
Oh, nice.
Oh, really? That is nice.
That's a good place.
I went to
go.
Chimichanga. Have you ever had that?
No.
Oh my God. My ex-wife had it. It looked so good. I'm telling the truth. All right. We're done. Thank you, Vanessa. This is WOCA Ocala. What's your phone number?
352-804-0092.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Clue in the hunt for a key fugitive in the deadly Paris attack.
The Belgian prosecutor says Salah Abdesalam's fingerprints were found in an apartment raided by Brussels police last Tuesday. Police believe he may still be on the run.
Fox Radio's Katie Logan. The Defense Secretary announces the nomination of the first female combatant commander, Air Force General Lori Robinson, to lead the North American Command, and worries about tap water in Chicago, where nearly 80% of properties are hooked up to service lines made of lead. The city insists